Hi everyone, today we're making some pomegranate lime tacos, which are perfect for Taco Tuesday or Taco Thursday or taco any day, or even how about Cinco de Mayo that's coming up. I'm making these with some healthy ingredients, of course. We're using chicken thighs here, we're using some really good pomegranate juice and some balsamic vinegar. I'm going to show you all the ingredients here in just a few minutes, and you're going to really enjoy it. I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'm going to show you how to do it right after my chef joke. All right, so here goes chef joke number one. It's a little bit corny, but aren't they all? All right, here we go. Last night I made fish tacos. They just looked at them and swam away. Okay, so to start off with our recipe, I've got a large cast iron pan here, which is what you want to use because this recipe is going into the oven to cook. So to this pan, I got over medium heat, so let's turn it up to medium. And I'm going to add some olive oil to the pan, and I'm just going to brown up my chicken thighs. I have boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. Now to the chicken thighs, I am going to just salt them a little bit. So here I am, I'm just going to sprinkle some salt over the top of these and some garlic powder. Now I think you can see that the oil is hot, starting to smoke a little bit. You can see the oil looks a little bit unusual. It has some waves in it. So I'm going to place my chicken thighs in here, season side down, because I'm going to season the other side. So I'm going to sear these for just 1 minute, and then I'm going to flip them over. So here's a little more salt and some garlic powder. It's been about a minute, so I'm going to flip these over. Okay, another minute has passed or so, so I'm just going to take these off and place them over here on this plate. I'm going to turn the temperature down to low. Now I'm going to add to the pan my pomegranate juice. You can get all the written recipe down below in the description of the video. And pour that in. Now, for my balsamic vinegar, you want to get a good one. This was really a challenge. I went to the store and they must have had 20 different brands, and I finally chose this one based on ingredients. Very simple ingredients there. You can see we have organic cooked grape must and organic wine vinaigrette. That's it. You'll find all the other ones have tons of other, additives, thickeners, all kinds of things. Go with the best, and you'll notice here how nice and thick this is. I mean, it pours out like a syrup, and it's not a glaze. So I'm going to add that balsamic. You can see it pours out nice and thick. Now, the goal here is to kind of release any bits from the chicken that kind of stuck to the bottom of the pan, and we'll pick that up, and that'll go into our sauce and make it really delicious. Now, I'm going to season up this sauce a little bit with a couple of different things. First of all, I have some chipotle chili powder that I'm going to add to this, and you can vary the amount depending on how much heat you like. My family doesn't care for too much, so I'm just going to put a little bit, but you can certainly add more than that. That was a half a teaspoon. Toss in just a little sprinkle of cinnamon, just like that. Just get a hint of that. Then I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this, not too much, just a pinch, a little bit of pepper. Give that a stir. I'm going to turn up the heat, and I'm going to bring this to a simmer. Now you can see that this has really come up to a boil now, so I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to let it simmer just enough so that I can get the chicken in there without the liquid, getting too high in the pan. I'm going to cook this for about 5 more minutes, and so it can reduce down. Okay, it's time to add the chicken back to the sauce. You want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and now I'm going to cover the chicken with some of the sauce before I put it in the oven. And we'll put it in the oven for about, we'll start with 15 minutes. It'll probably go 20, just depends on how thick your thighs are. And we'll test it with an instant read thermometer. Okay, so it must be time for chef joke number 2. Here we go. All right, so one guy's talking to the other, and he says, "Sir, did you realize the consequences of naming your son Taco Cheese?" And the other guy says, "No, but I had great expectations." While our chicken is cooking in the oven, we want to get our condiments and the things that we're going to serve with our tacos ready. So I've got my queso fresco cheese here. You can use any kind of crumbled cheese. Feta would work. Crumbled goat cheese would work. This is a nice soft and moist cheese. So just go ahead and crumble up the amount of cheese that you think you'll need for the amount of tacos you're making. Now the next condiment we have here, I just picked up some green cabbage, red cabbage, and there's some carrots mixed into this, just as a nice little, topping for our chicken tacos. So with the cabbage, we're just gonna pour some, however much we think we need, how many tacos you're making, just toss some, that's a little big, toss some into a bowl. And then to dress this, all we're gonna do is add a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna keep this simple because the star of our show is the chicken with the pomegranate. Put a little bit of that. And I've got my lime juice here. We're gonna just complement this with some lime juice. You can use lemon if you want. You don't have to use lime. Just a touch of salt on top, and we'll just give that a little toss, and that'll be ready to go. Should do it. It's ready to go. So the last thing I'm going to be putting on my tacos is some avocado. I love the creaminess of this, and obviously they're good for you. And they just are great in tacos. So I cut mine in half, and then I'm gonna use cubes, I think. So I'll cut some vertical lines, and then I'll turn it the other way and cut cubes. And then I'm just using my hands to just pull out the cubes and place them in a dish. Now we want to add some lime juice to this to both complement the flavor and keep the avocado from turning brown. I'll add a little salt to this and give it a little stir. And now everything's ready to go. Alright, so now let's check on our chicken. So you're going to want to baste it once, maybe twice while it's cooking. Not a big deal. Just spoon some sauce over it to just keep it nice and moist. So I'm testing these after about 22 minutes or so with my instant read thermometer, and it looks like they are done, so I'm going to pull them out. They're about 170, so they are ready to go. Alright, so I'm going to take the chicken out of the pan, and I'm going to place it in a dish over right here behind it, and I'm going to shred it up. You can shred it up any way you want. Sometimes people like to use a beater to do that, but I'm just going to use a couple of forks because I don't want to dirty another dish. And then I'm going to turn the heat on the sauce again to cook it down, and hopefully it'll thicken up a little bit. I'm going to use a couple of forks to shred up the chicken until it's cool enough, and then I like to use my hands because it just works so easily for me. I can actually shred it nicely and easily, and then I can pull off any excess fat that might still be on the chicken thigh. So after about 10 minutes, the sauce has reduced down a little bit more. It's thickening up a little bit. And so now it's time to add the chicken to the sauce. The nice thing about using cast iron pans is that they retain heat. So when we put our chicken in there, it's going to keep it nice and warm when we serve it. So give it a good stir to coat, and we have the temperature on medium-low, so just make sure it's nice and hot still. We're going to squeeze a little bit of lime juice on here to brighten up the flavors, and we're ready to make our tacos. Now we need some tortillas, nice warm ones. So here's what I bought. I found Mission Organics white corn tortillas. Now, why did I buy them? Well, because they're organic and non-GMO, and that means that there's no glyphosate on them. So just heat up a pan over medium heat and toss in your tortillas one at a time. Flip them over until they're done, or they're nice and soft and hot, and toss them into a tortilla oven like I have here, because these things work great. They keep your tortillas warm for a good half hour. And I'll leave a link in the description for you if you want to pick one up. We are ready to assemble. Here we got our chicken here. Give it another little toss. Stays nice and hot in this pan, which is perfect. Look at that, beautiful. All right. I'm going to pull out my nice warm, always warm tortilla. You can see the steam coming off of it. And yeah, let's do it. I'm going to put in some of that nice, delicious, flavored chicken. You guys are going to love this. I mean, I just loaded up. These tortillas are a little big, so I'm putting an ample amount in there. All right, next goes the cabbage. And then we'll just add a sprinkle of the tortilla cheese. Look at that. And another sprinkle of some avocado. And there you have it. These things are dynamite. I can't wait to dig in. Oh my goodness, that is so good. These make a great weeknight meal. You can put these together in absolutely no time at all. And if you like that nice sweet and heat type of taco, this is the one for you. And that citrus with the lime just brightens it all up, and it's delicious. Let me know if you're going to give these a go down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. These are so delicious. Hey, you want to try another taco recipe of mine? I have one called sausage and sweet potatoes with some avocado slaw. I call it my tango tacos. You got to check those out. They are super delicious. This video never really got very many views, and a lot of people just don't get a chance to try it. It's so good. Check it out. Click the link on the screen here and it'll take you right to it. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell because that will tell you when I put out a new video, and so you don't miss them. I don't want you to miss a thing. All right, thanks again for watching. We'll see you back here next week for another Rockin' recipe.